Hey guys, Will Hamilton here, bringing you this look at the Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic semifinal match at the Aussie Open. Now, before we get to that match, I just want to briefly touch on the match last night where you had Rafa going down to David Ferrer in 3 sets. Not really too much to say about that match, other than I hope Rafa has a speedy recovery. It sounds like, looking at the press reports, he has a tear in a thigh muscle. Nothing too serious, but just want to wish him a speedy recovery. That was unfortunate to see, obviously. And hopefully there won't be any lingering effects for the rest of the season. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about this matchup. I am really looking forward to this match. I think it could be the best match of the tournament so far. And you got a guy with Federer who obviously is playing very well right now. I wouldn't say he looks invincible, but he does look very good. And he's playing very aggressive tennis, serving well, attacking off the first ball. And obviously he's going to be, doing more of the same against Novak. But here's, where this matchup gets really interesting, because in the previous round where you had Djokovic against Berdych, Berdych was bringing some heat on the serves, off the ground, and Djokovic was playing excellent defense. I mean, you had a guy Novak was returning 130-mile-an-hour serves, no problem, and actually doing something with them, sticking them, pushing them back deep, and occasionally, not just neutralizing, but actually being on the offensive off of some of those returns. He, when he was stretched out wide, he was hitting great backhands and forehands, and then when he got control of the court, if we have Novak here, and let's pretend this is Berdych for a second, when he got control in the middle of the court here, particularly off the forehand side right here. This is a forehand for a righty, circles player, sticks the side they're hitting on. He was moving the ball around the court extremely, extremely well. And for a guy like Berdych, who is a pretty big guy, 6'5", he can hit big, but he's not an amazing mover. You get him on the run, and the efficacy of his offense is certainly going to come down. So I think the game plan with Djokovic is going to be the same. You're going to, Federer is going to have to play some great offense like he always has to. But Federer needs to essentially string together a series of high-quality, aggressive shots to do damage against Djokovic. And what exactly does that mean? That means serving. We've got Roger down here. This is if Roger, who's been going out wide very effectively on the deuce court, if Roger's hitting serves like that, you can expect Djokovic off the forehand side in this instance to hit a pretty solid, you would assume, neutralizing return. Roger, in this case, here's a forehand. He'd probably turn most of the balls in this area of the court into forehands. Marker sort of dying. And maybe he has to go to the open court. Djokovic, good chance he'll chase that down. Then Federer needs to ideally be controlling off the forehand and then go to the open court and just play aggressive tennis, move the ball around the court, because he's not going to be able to just take one cut and end the point. He's going to have to move Djokovic out of position and really open up a part of the court and then he's going to be able to end the point. So you're not just going to see a winner off of the first ball. It's going to be a series of points. This is just one example of what you might see. But Roger should expect very high-quality neutralizing shots off of his offensive shots. So neutralizing off the serve, maybe neutralizing off 1 or 2 forehands, and he's going to have to string together, those series of high-quality shots to win a point. Kind of, the same way you have to do that against Nadal when he's playing well, where Rafa just makes you hit that extra ball. Seeing the same thing out of Djokovic right now, and Djokovic has done a fantastic job, like I alluded to earlier, of going on offense himself. That kind of instant transition from the defensive game to the offensive game. Djokovic has also been serving very well. The hitch he had in his serve over the course of last season seems to be gone. He's serving much more effectively. So I think this is going to be a very interesting match because Djokovic, this is the best I've seen him play in a long time. And I would not be surprised if he wins this match. Now that said, I think Federer is going to win. I think it's going to be a 5-set match. I think Federer pulls it out in 5, but this is going to be a real tight one if both guys are playing well, because you know, we obviously know what Federer is going to do. He's going to be looking for that first strike tennis, but Djokovic is going to make him earn it, and Djokovic is again, it's that defense, but it's Djokovic's ability to work the ball around the court and hit big himself that I think is going to make this very, very interesting to see. The final point I would round out this video with, in terms of Djokovic's defense, is it's all facets of the game. It's not just once the point gets started, the defense kicks in. To compare Djokovic's D with Rafa's defense, you know, an area of the game where Rafa isn't quite as strong as Djokovic is the return of serve. So I think a guy like Federer or other opponents who are playing Rafa really feel like they have a clear advantage serving when they're serving to Rafa, and they're not worried about getting hurt too much on the return. But Djokovic is a guy that can really hurt you. And if he's returning like he was against Berdych, off those first serves, he was cracking those balls. You know, that actually, it puts a lot of pressure on your first serve. If you know, particularly if a guy's going to go after and really rock your second serve, that makes it difficult. That makes it more difficult to get that first serve in. And we saw with Federer versus Wawrinka a little bit, where Wawrinka's first serve percentage was way down against Fed. It was real high against Roddick and high against Monfils, and then it came down significantly against Federer. And that's because Federer was attacking the second serve very well. So Wawrinka thinks to himself, well, I got to get this first serve in, and there's some psychological pressure there, and that can affect the efficacy on the first serve. And again, you saw that Wawrinka's first serve not nearly as effective against Fed as it was against some of those other guys. So it'll be interesting to see how Federer's first serve is affected by the fact that Djokovic is probably going to be really attacking Federer's second serve. And then the final point, finally, I'm going to round it out now. The final point is that this match is being played at night. Conditions are going to be a little bit slower once the air gets cooler. That's going to favor Djokovic, I think, where the ball not going to move through the court and the air is fast. Djokovic is going to get to more balls. It's going to augment that competent defensive ability Djokovic has. So I think that is going to be an edge for Djokovic there. So again, I'm really looking forward to this. I think match of the tournament so far, 5 sets, going to give the slight edge to Federer, but I could see this one going either way. So with that in mind, please let me know what you think of this analysis in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen? And please like this video. There's a button somewhere down there. Click like. And we will see this match starting in a few short hours. Look forward to reading your comments. See you guys soon.